Hello, this is Kirill Karpelson, and we're going to talk today about creating OneTick database in Parquet format. This is a new feature in 1.19. It could be useful when you want to create OneTick archives, but then read them using some other tools other than OneTick, such as Spark or Impala or Hive or even Python. So first, let's start by looking at some random data that I generated and that I will load into OneTick. So here's a little text file with a bunch of records. The first field is timestamp. It's pretty much the same everywhere. It's in Unix epoch in milliseconds since 1970. Then there is a floating point number, double, which is going to be price. Then it's the size field, which is an integer, and then there is some single character field, which could be condition code, for example. Again, this is random data, so it doesn't really have any special meaning. How do we create a database in OneTick? Well, it's very simple. We just add an entry to locator. The only parameter that we need to add for Parquet is this one, archive format equals Parquet. So we created a database called Parquet, and now we need to load it. We basically use the same ASCII loader daily that you would use for any other database, and here it loaded 99 ticks. You can load any data whatsoever that way. The loader doesn't care what's the target format is. It will do the same thing as it does when loading non-Parquet data. Loading into non-Parquet format. Once the data is loaded, you can actually examine that folder, and you notice that it's slightly different from typical OneTick archive. There is a subfolder here called TRD1, and underneath there is an actual Parquet file. I have another day here. It has a whole bunch of different tick types: day, PRL, quote, trade. Each of them will have just one Parquet file underneath. So that's the difference between Parquet archives and typical OneTick archives. So now that we have the data loaded, we can try and query it outside of OneTick. Well, the simplest way to do it is using Python. And I have a little Python script that I wrote here. The top 3 lines are really all that's required. I'm using the module called pyarrow, pyarrow.parquet. I use the method in that module called readTable, where I specify the full path to that Parquet file. And here, let's run this, and let's get some data out, right? So this is it. This is us reading the contents of that Parquet file. There are 99 lines. It starts from 0, ends with line 98, so there are 99 total. And that includes all the typical fields that you would expect: the symbol name, the timestamp, price, size, condition code, etc. So just like what I loaded into OneTick. And then just to confirm that we could also retrieve that data using OneTick methods, I do that here. I use the OneTick.query Python module. I instantiate OneTick lib object. I create a little query, pass through with tick type TRD. I wrap that in graph query object, and then I run it. And the field, the symbol that I want is Parquet : test.n. That's the hard-coded test symbol that I loaded this data for. Start and end time are specified here, and then I just print the result, basically massaged into the data frame. And let's look at the results. There we go. So this is the output that we got from OneTick query. You could see that it's exactly the same values, the same information, the same number of rows. And of course we can run the similar query in the GUI. We could do, for example, we can retrieve the first, I don't know, 50 ticks. from the trade time series. There we go. This is it. And again, this is the same symbol, same information, same exact data. So I hope this was useful. So this shows you how you can load data into OneTick, save it in Parquet format, and then retrieve it from OneTick using OneTick methods, and also read the archives directly using Python or any other non-OneTick method that reads Parquet files. I hope this was useful. Thank you very much. Goodbye.